Well, my son was killed in June of 2006, and we buried him at the National Cemetery in Bourne so that he would be surrounded by his fellow service members. And that following November, Veterans Day, I did as most people around the Commonwealth do, brought a flag down to Bourne to put on his grave. And I was stunned as I entered the cemetery and found there were no flags on any graves in that cemetery. We had 56,000 graves, and not one of them had a flag on it. And that was very surprising to me because I know that the state law says that every veteran's grave has to have a flag on it on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. But upon inquiry with the administration of the cemetery, I was told two things. One, that the property was not state property and was not subject to state law. It was federal property. And two, that the reason that flags weren't allowed on the graves was because they interfered with the maintenance of the cemetery. I was very upset with that reason and set out to change that policy. And after contacting every veterans group in the country and state senators and congresspeople, and talked to generals and my own federal congressmen and senators, it took 4.5 years before we were able to get permission to place those flags. We were conditional, of course, that we had to purchase those flags, we had to put those flags in, and we had to take those flags out. So my brother Matthew and I began a campaign to raise funds to buy 56,000 flags, and we went on the radio and newspapers and whatever we could do, visiting different VFWs, American Legions. We ran some functions, and we were able to raise enough money, thanks to the good people of the state of Massachusetts, as well as people from other states, I must add, that donated bits and pieces along the way, and we were able to raise the funds and buy those flags. And on Memorial Day 2011, we went down and we put 56,000 flags at the cemetery in Bourne, and we have done it every Memorial Day and Veterans Day since.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. America needs to see you and what you are doing here today, honoring those men and women who keep this country free. Without them, we'd be saluting some strange spider on a flag. So we thank you for coming and for honoring those veterans that have kept us free and continue to do so. At this time, I would like to call forward Mr. Peter McPhail, Army Chaplain, to do us a benediction. Mr. McPhail.
Thank you, Paul. Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we honor the brave men and women who rest in this sacred place. May our deeds today show the unity and strength of our great nation. As we gather to remember our heroes, may we continue to honor all veterans, living and dead, who have sacrificed to preserve our freedom. May those buried here rest in eternal peace. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Peter. I would now like to ask all the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, all the Scouts up there to come forward, please, and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Will everybody please remove their hats and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Miss Maren Keady, our internationally known Irish-American singer who will lead us in the national anthem. Maren is also a Blue Star mother. Maren, please.
The anthem of this great nation is not just words on paper, and the flag, it is just not a mere piece of cloth with colors. It has a remarkable effect on the world. The colors are those of your mothers and fathers, your brothers and your sisters, your husband, your lover, who walked the path, not just the path because he was proud in himself. He was proud of a nation who always puts others before them. So what then would you expect of its child of a nation but to go and walk the path and stand not just for his family, not just for Americans, but for the rest of the world, for human dignity. Because Americans believe that everyone should have the same dignity that they enjoy. So in that vein, I sing this wonderful anthem, the anthem that we sing so proudly because of those who rest in glory. So thus be it e'er, where free men shall stand, between their loved home and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and pride, may our heaven-rescued land praise the power that had made and preserved us a nation. For conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and let this be our motto: in God is our trust. And the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rugged red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? God bless America.
Maren, you're the best.
Thank you.
That's hard to beat, huh? At this time, I would like a representative of the United States Army to come forward and place a flag on the All Services Monument.
Anybody that would like to follow our veteran over to the feel free to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, let's get someone from the Navy.
Could I have someone representing the United States Navy, please? Come forward, plant the flag. Thank you.
Well, we only want one flag.
Just one flag.
Okay, do this separate down there.
Follow him. Down that.
I got a screwdriver. Yep.
Make a hole.
That's where you want it. Yep. There's a rock. Oh, right. There it is. Okay, right there. Yep.
Could I have a member of the United States Marine Corps to please step forward, receive a flag, and place it at the monument? She already went. Could I please have a member of the United States Air Force step forward, take a flag, and place it at the monument?
Thank you. This is good. Thank you.
Can we have a representative from the United States Coast Guard? Please come forward, take a flag, and place it at the monument. Could I have a member of the United States Merchant Marine to please come forward, take a flag, and place it at the monument?
Anyone to represent the Merchant Marine, please?
Like any member that would like to memorialize the POW MIA to please come forward and place a flag at their monument.
At this time, I'd like to introduce my baby sister, Patricia Corsini, to read a poem to recognize all of our veterans that are buried here in Bourne and all our veterans throughout the entire nation. Patricia.
We remember them. In the rising of the sun and its going down, we remember them. In the blowing of the wind and in the chill of the winter, we remember them. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. In the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer, we remember them. In the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. In the beginning of the year and when it ends, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we are lost and sick of heart, we remember them. When we have joys and special celebrations we yearn to share, we remember them. So long as we live, they too shall live, for they are a part of us. We remember them.
Peter.
The flags have been placed on all the sections of the cemetery. You'll find them in bins. They're bundled in 12s. People that have a personal placement will take a flag and go to the grave that they wish to dedicate and place their flag. If you find there's a flag there already, you can remove that flag and make your personal placement. I also ask that when you do place a flag on a grave, to take a moment and reflect the name that's on that grave and say thank you. The young children, the people that have young children that would like to place the flags on some of the graves, if they would go to sections 1, 2, and 3, it'll be a little easier for them. All the other people, if you wish, you can go to any section that you would like. Now, when we place the flag on the grave, we ask you place it in the center of the monument, behind the name. The flag should never touch the ground. Any flag that you find that is broken in those bundles, we try to make sure that there aren't any. You may find some that are not up to our standard. So if you find one that has a staple missing, or a finial missing, or a broken shaft, if you would not place that down, please put it back in the tote. What's up, brother? No, you can just hold your position. Thank you. This concludes our ceremony, and if you would please go out, take your time, and reflect what Veterans Day is all about. Thank you so much.
My name is Morris Morris. I'm a host on Revere TV Veterans and Community, and I have a special veteran here. He's a friend of mine. His name is Charles Mackin. He's a Korean vet and a World War II vet. Charles, tell us why you're down here and what you came down to do.
Well, I'm in here to go visit my brothers. They're all my brothers. This is what we fought for. This is what we have today. And I'm just honored to come down here and let them know they're not forgotten.
That's good. By the way, my brother-in-law is also buried here, and we come down here to put a flag on the graves of all the veterans that were killed or are buried here with their spouses. And by the way, this is not our first time. You were here last year too.
Last year too, and I'll be here every year. As long as they're here, I'm here.
Go ahead.
And there'll always be more wars and more people dying for our country, and this will be their home for the rest of their lives.
By the way, we have a veteran of our senior center from Revere Senior Center, Darlene Jones, the lovely Darlene Jones. How did you enjoy coming down here and putting flags on our
I
grave?
loved it, and I got to see my father-in-law and mother-in-law's grave. I put a flag on my father-in-law's grave, and it was just the most touching and emotional time I've ever had in a long time, and I just cried.
I know, Darlene, and I have to thank you, and I'll tell you why. Because you didn't know about this until the last minute, and the minute you found out about it, Zumbo, you were right down here.
Yeah.
So that was a pleasure to have
Next year
you.
I hope to have my whole family here.
You mean to put the flags on?
Yeah, put the flags on.
The graves.
Not to be.
Okay.
No.
By the way, we have a lovely lady. If she would just come over here. Her name is, I believe, the one and only Eileen Murillo. Eileen?
Hi, Morris. How are you?
Right, first of all, I want to thank you.
again.
Right. On behalf of the city of Revere, and especially Revere TV, I want to thank you for the monument that you put up for the Women's Memorial in the city of Revere. Yep. If you would kindly look at that beautiful camera that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And how did you enjoy coming down here and putting the flags on?
Well, I enjoyed coming down here, but it's a very sad place to come to. But it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I want to congratulate you on all the work you do for the veterans.
Well, I have to say one thing. I know this might be edited, but I hope it isn't. The gentleman that's actually filming, who's the director of Revere TV, started me up as a junior doing the show a couple of years ago. We do a Revere Veterans and TV show, and we love to have the people come down. But I would also like to mention that the monument that you made for the woman, I hope every town in the Commonwealth does this. And we must especially thank Paul Monty, because he's the one that sets this up. Paul Monty's son Jared, who's a Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, is buried in this cemetery, and because of him, we do the flags, because at one time we were not allowed to do the flags.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
Paul Monty, I want to thank you wherever you are out there. God bless you, God bless your son, and thank you.
May your son rest in peace.
Right, thank you.
All right, Morris. Thank you.
I only wish one thing, you don't pull rank on me, because I was only a corporal.
That's all right. We don't do that.
Okay, first of all, tell us about yourself and how you enjoyed and what you do down here at Bourne.
Hi, I'm Master Sergeant Michael Forte. I work down here at Otis at the 267 Combat Communications Squadron. Been in the military 18 years,
God
10,
bless you.
10 years in the Navy, and now 8 years Air Force. I'm from Taunton, and Monty's are from right next door in Rainham.
Right.
So as soon as I saw the opportunity, I couldn't wait to come down and help out and do whatever I could to pay tribute to our fallen brothers who can't
Right.
be here with us.
I would like to say one thing, sir. They consider us the greatest generation. World War
So
II.
do I.
So are
do I.
you. So are you. No,
No.
we consider you the greatest generation.
No, you guys paved the way for us. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you
Right.
guys. It was a lot harder being in the military back then. Now it's with the media and the coverage, everyone knows what's going on. Back in your day, you were all going into a blind. We didn't storm the beaches. You guys stormed the beaches. We're forever in your in your debt. It's,
Right. And I want to thank you for your service, sir.
I want to thank you too, sir.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
America should be proud of people like you, really.
Well, no, only because of people like you.
Thank you,
So
and
I
thank you
appreciate
again.
Alrighty, guys.
Folks, we have a special guest here, two special guests. Paul Bonfiglio, who organized the trip down here for all the residents of Revere to come down to Bourne National Cemetery, and his son, and your name, sir?
Paul Bonfiglio.
Right, and he's going into the Navy, so first of all, let me salute you and congratulate you for your service that you're going to be doing for us. And I want to know from you, from an old man to a young man, what made you pick the Navy when you could have picked the good old U.S. Army? Go ahead. Don't be bashful. Let it go.
His mother. My mother made me pick the Navy instead.
So I know who wears the pants in your house. Okay. And by the way, I want to thank you, Paul, for what you do for the veterans, because you do it every single year.
Thank you.
Right. Why don't you say, by the way, interview your son for a minute.
Yeah. Well, it was a beautiful day. It was, the weather was great. It's a very moving day. You see all these people come out and remember our veterans who served us and give us the freedoms that we have. And I wish everybody could experience this, because I find it to be so rewarding. To everyone who's here says the same thing over and over. It's such a moving day, and people don't know what they're missing. And I would encourage more people to join us, and hopefully to bring their children with them, so that their children can understand all the sacrifices that were made to give them the freedoms that they have today. And on behalf of all my staff and my son Paul, who assisted us today in coordinating this trip, I thank everybody, and thank everybody who took the time out of their busy schedules, because I know what it's like between children and grandchildren and work and everything else that goes on. Everyone has a lot going on, and I appreciate everyone who took the time to come down today. Thank you very much.
Before we end, Paul, we want to make sure next year we have not one bus, not two buses, but 3 full buses. And if people want to volunteer, tell them how to get a hold of you, how they can contact you.
Yep. We will be doing this annually, every year. This is our second trip, and anyone who would like to be part of this great day, please give us a call. You can reach me at the funeral home, 781-284-3376. And like I said, this is going to be an annual tradition, and we have a great crew of people that this is their second year with us. And like I said, it's just a very rewarding day for anyone who makes the trip. We thank you all, and hope that you'll join us next year. Thanks, Morris.
Right. Thank you again, Paul. We hope to do it again next year. And thank you, Revere TVA, for coming down and doing this for us, too. Thank you. Folks, there are 57,000 veterans buried in the cemetery, and they were put down with 57,000 flags. And we're coming back next week to remove the flags from the veterans, and I hope may they all rest in peace.
Just want to thank all of the people from Revere, all my fellow Revere residents who came today to help with this project. This is such an honor for us to be able to come to pay tribute to all of these brave men and women here who served our country and who allow us the freedoms that we have. And especially for the Revere residents, all of you who came out, and I know most of you who came either have relatives that are buried here or know veterans or are veterans yourselves. We're really blessed in the Revere area that we have so many World War II veterans who live in our area and that we're just privileged to know, and so many of them who are still healthy and well and come here to help place flags on the graves. I think that the veterans who come have a whole complete different sense of appreciation for what this cemetery is, and we just thank you all for coming. All of you residents, thank you so much.